So many business people give up on opportunities and actually miss out on sales because they don't show enough persistence in selling. But people say to me, James, I don't want to appear as being pushy, and I worry about being overly persistent with people that obviously don't want to buy my product or service. In this video, I'm going to share with you why you've got to be a bit persistent, especially in business to business sales. I'm going to share a story with you on why it's so important. I'm going to give you a few tips of what to do to give persistence and to show persistence, but also value at the same time to hopefully win more business with the prospects you work with. My name is James White, small business sales expert, man that helps loving great businesses build brilliant sales teams and results. Let's have a look at the video and see if we can get you the tips and ideas you need to be a bit more persistent and win more business. Let's have a look at the video. So studies show that only 2%, just 2%, of sales calls result in a sale initially. Just 2%. And another stat from the American Association of Institute of Sales showed that 80% of sales happen on the 5th to the 12th interaction. So the reality is, if you're giving up on those that you provide proposals for or speak to and don't do the persistence work needed to engage with them and hopefully get a result, the chances are you're missing out on opportunities. So what are some of the things you've got to put in place in order to show persistence but not be seen as a pain in the backside? Before we do that, I want to share with you a little story. My brother-in-law works in the farming industry, and he tells a story about how he went to go and visit someone who literally said, I don't buy from your company. And his response back was, well, I will turn up at your farm in a month's time on the last Monday of every month because you're in my patch. And the farmer said to him, go away, I'm not interested. And he went back again and said, and I told you I'd come back. And he went back over 4 separate times. Every time the farmer said to him, no, I'm not interested. And he went back. And on the 5th time, the farmer said, I thought I told you I wasn't interested. And the man said, well, actually, I've told you I'd still be here. And I'm still keen to see if I can work with you and see if I can support you in what you're looking to do. And the farmer said to him, guess what? I've actually been let down by a supplier. What's your price on this product? They did business, and now that farmer is now one of his loyal customers because he showed persistence. So sometimes in business, we've got to be a bit persistent in order to get the result that we want. So what are some of the things that you can do to show persistence and hopefully get people like that farmer on your side? So the first thing is you've got to make sure that you're a good fit for that person. In the case of the farming situation, they were a good fit for each other because they were a large farm and the product that they were selling was really suited to that organisation, and they could give them some great deals on delivery and pricing. But if your service is not a good fit for the person that you work with, then being pushy and being persistent with them is not going to get the result. So make sure that you firstly look and see whether the criteria of the person you're trying to sell to matches the criteria of your perfect client. If you don't have that criteria match, it's going to be difficult to sell and engage them in anything. But if you do, and you think that you can solve a problem or a desire that they have, and you've done it for other people similar to them, then I'm going to be honest with you, it's your duty to keep engaging with them and to make sure you support and give them ideas so that they can potentially work with you in time. If you give up too early, you're missing out on opportunities, especially when other people similar to them have achieved success. So firstly, check there's a fit between what you offer and what they look for. And if there is, that's the starting point for us to then focus on how we engage and give value. So a real simple little tip when you're trying to be persistent with someone is to try and give value on a regular basis. What do I mean by giving value? Maybe if you know that there's a certain type of fit of that person who will have a certain type of challenge or problem that they're looking to resolve, then maybe share a resource, a guide, or a check sheet, or maybe a PDF document or a printed document, and actually give them something, or maybe it's even an article you found from another website that talks about the issue that they're likely to be facing, and then you're then trying to provide a solution for that. When we on a regular basis give to someone, especially around an area that we know that they have a challenge with, it's very difficult for humans to actually just continue to ignore that. It's taken me, my record is 9 times for me to engage with someone where I continually gave them value and talked about solutions that could help them, for that person to eventually say to me, okay, fair enough, I need to have a conversation. You're so focused on trying to help us. So when you're sending an email, don't just send an email about what's right for you. Share an article, share a guide, share a check sheet, share something that will make the other person think, that was quite helpful, that was quite useful. They've obviously got my interests at heart and not just themselves. And if you do that, it's going to help make that person feel that you're someone of value. And when you do phone or turn up or even send an email, they're going to be more inclined to open it than just press delete or say goodbye. The second point of why I think persistence is really key is it also shows that person that you will do what you say you will. In the story I gave, I told you that the person that was engaging with the farmer said that they'd be at that location at a set date and time. And when you give your potential clients that consistency and that assurance that you're going to do something when you say you will, it builds lots of trust in their mind that you're someone that can be counted on if they decide to work with you. If you say, for example, you're going to do something and then don't do it, that starts to affect the trust levels that you have with your prospect. And so being persistent and saying, I'm going to ring you at this time, or I'm going to try and engage with you at this time, and then make sure you do it at that time, shows the other person that you're committed to helping them or committed to engaging with them, and it also shows them that you'll do what you say you will. And that goes a long way when it comes to building trust. And as we know, trust is one of the critical factors when it comes to someone deciding to use you or not. So the final point around being persistent in sales relates to what I call your duty as a sales or business person. If that person's the right fit and that you know you can solve a problem or issue that they have, then it's your duty as a salesperson or business person to help them solve it. I worked with an organisation once who were helping laundry owners basically solve massive issues in terms of their gas bills and their chemical bills. But the laundry owner had never heard of the company. So therefore they saw it as their duty to engage with that business owner, to talk to them and help them see that there was a way in which they could solve and reduce their gas prices and chemical prices by massive amounts of money. They didn't just say no at the first sign of a setback. They knew it was their duty to help, because not only was their product good for the business of that laundry, but it was also brilliant for the environment. It saved the planet and it made us use less chemicals. So they felt it was their passion, their duty to keep engaging and keep offering value to make the other person, the laundry owners that they were working with, engage and suddenly start to see the light. And it took some time, it took some persistence, but every time they went back and gave value after value. And in the end, they opened up doors for people who want to come in and have demos, opportunities and conversations, because they were persistent, because they said what they would do on a regular basis, because they gave value, and because they saw it as their passion to help that other person. So when you're focused on selling, focus on the value that you can bring and think about whether you're a good fit for that other person and your duty as a business or salesperson. And if all of those three things get ticks, then you've got to continue to engage and give that value, continue to share, continue to provide advice, continue to be a thought leader in that other person's mind. And if you do that, over time, it's going to hopefully help them see that you're committed to making their world a better place, and it's going to give them hopefully a chance to have a conversation with you or a meeting with you where you can then start to do the sales work to really find out what's going on and hopefully build a partnership or at least send a proposal to work with them. The key thing in sales, if we give up too soon, when we give up too soon, the chances are we're likely to fail. But if you're giving up when there's no fit, or you don't care about it, you just want to make money, then yeah, sure, that's probably not right for you. But if you do care, if they are the right fit, and it's your duty to help them solve a problem, keep going, keep giving value. And if you do that, you're going to stand a better chance of winning business. Hopefully this video is giving you some ideas on how to be persistent. If you're struggling knowing whether to be persistent or not, or what to do to approach things, reach out to me, put a comment in the section below, and I'll happily provide some thoughts, advice, or even jump on a live session together and we'll talk through what you're trying to achieve. But the key thing in sales is we've got to give it time, we've got to be persistent, and we've got to do the things that make us happy and also our prospects happy. Hope you've enjoyed watching the video. If you have, my name is James White, small business sales expert. Subscribe to the channel. There's lots of videos and resources there to help you sell more. And if I can support you in your business journey and goal, I'd love to do that. Reach out to me on social media, have a comment. Let's talk about the issues that are getting in your way and what we need to remove to get you in a great place to do business in 2022. Thanks for watching. Look forward to sharing another video with you next Saturday.